Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage and the Volvo 66 project. This is the third video in the series, and in the previous video I tried to free up this engine. I actually came to the conclusion that it probably wouldn't be possible and I had to find another one, so I took this out. But in the end of the previous video I actually got the 3 stock pistons to move. I haven't touched it since. I just filled the chambers with evaporust. Hopefully that will clean up the rusty edge, and then I can push the pistons out in this video, and then I will inspect it and see what's what. It looks pretty decent actually. So what I hope to do is to take the pistons out, give it a light hone, change the piston rings, change the bearings on the crankshaft, and change all the gaskets and so on, and put the engine back together. And then hopefully it will run with this original engine in it. That's gonna be nice. So it's a very, very light rebuild. I am not doing a complete rebuild. It would take a lot of time, a lot of parts. It's not what this project is about. It's about reviving, and hopefully it will be possible to do without having to do too much machining work and so on. Firstly, I want to remove the distributor, the oil filter, the fuel pump, the ignition coil, to get a bit better access to everything. And then I'm going to empty out the cylinders and take out the pistons. I'm just removing the camshaft because I want to clean up the engine deck and so on, and it's just messy down there. Looks pretty decent. Just gonna see if I can push the pistons down from this side. I know I can on this one because it's not stuck. I think they are supposed to go the other way. I don't think the connecting rod can fit. So, as you can see, the bottom end of the connecting rod is too wide to actually fit through the liners. I was not expecting that. This means that I will not be able to take out the pistons. Well, I can take them out maybe. No, I'm not even sure they will fit through right there. I don't think they will. So they have to come out together with the liners. I was not expecting that. I was hoping to actually not do that because I have to clean up the engine bay and put in new seals underneath the liners. But actually this is the correct way to do it, so maybe it's not that bad. I was just hoping to do a shortcut right there, but that will not happen, so I'm gonna remove my holders so that I can remove the liners. There we go. They were easy to get out. I was actually worried that that would be tough, and that was the reason why I didn't want to bother with it. But it came out very easy. Now I just need to really clean the gasket surface down there and change the gaskets. But that'll be fine. I'm just gonna clean this block up, and it's gonna be boring. It's just a lot of work. I already did a bit over here, and clean it up. So I'm gonna start with number 1 stock piston, try to clean that up. Hopefully I can get it out. And then normally I would pull this out this way, but because it's not possible to fit this part through this, I'm gonna tap it in the other direction. This is where the troubles were. Very stuck in that area. So I got all of them out, and I got good news and I got bad news. Unfortunately, the bad news will overshadow the good news, but the good news, this is one of the stock ones. They are definitely savable with a bit of honing, I'd say. It really doesn't look too bad. I cannot feel anything. They're just fine. They're just fine. But not just one of them, actually two of them cracked. And I'm unsure if I was too harsh on them. I don't think I was. I just tapped it out. But unfortunately, the piston rings were not able to contract enough to get it out. And yeah, it's such a shame. But this won't work. I need new liners. Hopefully I can find some, or else I'm back at replacement engine option. I think the pistons are alright, but I might end up getting new ones because they probably are part of the kit for the liners. While waiting for the parts, I might as well check out this cylinder head. I don't have any reason to believe that this is not straight, but I'm gonna check it anyway with a straight edge. I am more concerned about the valves, to be honest. So I'm just quickly gonna check those for tightness. This one is at least leaking. Both exhaust right there are leaking. It seems as though this is tight and a couple of these are tight, the other ones are leaking. But I'm gonna take out the valves and just quickly lap them in. I'm just gonna clean them up a bit while they're still in there with a wire brush. Now these deposits over here are quite hard to get off, and I wonder if that is oil burning deposits. I'm not sure though. So I'm just gonna give them numbers, and I'm still just following my own numbering. It might not be the correct one, but in my world this is number 4. So I'm just gonna label, so I'm just gonna give them all a marking. Like this. And then I can disassemble these. There we go, the valve train is off. Was the last one. Okay, so they don't even have an oil seal up here. It's just that metal color. So yeah, I'm not gonna change that. It's an old school engine. Let's see if we can take the valves out. Yeah, there's some surface corrosion on them for sure. The shaft seems pretty fine though. Just gonna do the test finger on the back of the guide and then pull out. Yeah, that's the sound you want to hear. If it doesn't make that sound, the tolerances are definitely too big. But if it makes that sound, it's not all bad. Next up, I want to clean up the valves just a bit. I'm not gonna go crazy either, and I don't want to mess the seat up too much. I hope to just reuse whatever is there. I don't have good experience re-cutting seats, but lapping them in I can do. I'm just tightening this up by hand. I'm not doing it with the drill. I don't want any marks up here. Just so it's tight, and then spin it and use this brass brush to just get it a bit cleaner. Looks a lot better. With all the valves cleaned up, I'm just gonna lightly clean up this surface, and then I'm just gonna lap them in and hopefully get to a decent result. I'm just gonna lightly lube up the seats with WD-40 and then ever so gently scrub them clean with a bit of Scotch-Brite pad. Just want the surface rust to go away, but I do not want to damage the seats, of course. And I think the seats looks really decent. They are not perfect. The car's from 75, of course it's not perfect, but it's definitely fixable and usable. So what I want to do is to find cylinder or valve number 4 and the exhaust. And then I'm gonna add some paste on that, valve lapping paste. And then dump this down without putting any grinding material into the valve guides. There we go. And then just when I can hear the sound change, I'm reapplying some of the paste to the surface and then going again. And it's already sounding really nice, I think. I don't think it needs a lot. And after a while, I can remove it. Clean up the valve. And clean up the seat. And then I'm gonna go again with the fine paste. I'm almost out of valve lapping compound. Have to get some more tomorrow. And the sound is very different with the fine, but you can still hear that it changes the sound into a more consistent hum from to. I honestly think the seats and the valves were just perfect as they were. They were just dirty, pretty much. It's just a cleanup that is needed. I think the seats and the valves looks pretty nice. There's no pitting or anything. It's just a matter of cleaning them up a bit. So now I have a nice gray line around the valve and the same down there. And I think this is enough. I'm gonna do the same on all of the rest of them. And then clean up the deck afterwards. I am now done with all the valves and happy with the result. And now I'm on to cleaning the deck. I'm using a sharp blade just to scrape the worst of the gasket off. Being very careful not to cut into the aluminum. When I got the worst off, I'm using a Scotch-Brite to carefully clean the rest of it off. So I'm pretty happy with this. It could be cleaner, and there's one worrying place, and that's right there. There is a indentation right there, corrosion, but I actually think it's fabrication error. It's outside of where the firing seals, so I don't think it will give any issues. But this, I think, will work just fine. I need to really clean this up. Gonna take out the valves again and just clean everything to make sure there's no grinding paste or anything in there. And then I think this will be ready for the rest of the parts. This is where I'm going to end up this video. Actually, the parts I need to continue this build has just arrived, at least some of them. These are the liners. You might think, oh, they look worse than the old one, but this is actually completely new ones. It's new old stock. They are just covered in grease to protect them, but they are... No, it's not a crack, it's just that grease. I just saw that. But anyway, they seem just fine. I need to clean them up, but this will be all for now. I really did plan to just make one rebuild video, but I was pushed completely off track by those cracked liners. But now I'm back on track. I need some parts. I need the conrod bearings. I think they will be here tomorrow. And then I can continue on the build. Stay tuned for the next video. It will come out within a week or something like that. Meanwhile, I made these. So if you want to support me and this project, go ahead and follow the link down below and buy one of these. I think it turned out pretty cool. But if all goes well, the next video will be all those parts coming back together, going back into the engine bay. And finally, I should be able to fire this up. And after that, it's time to fit these. These are the drive belts for this car, which they are really cool, really big, and it's going to be interesting to install them. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.